Second Thursday, so we get to catch up with what's taking place in the city of Clinton with the mayor, Scott Maddasion, in studio with us. Scott, great to see you.
Yeah, good to see you as well.
Saw you, of course, at the run on April, and you looked like you were in pretty good shape there.
Yeah, I did okay. I'm fourth place. My age division must be tough, man. I got fourth place in the age division. Usually I place at the Pam Prey, so I'm at the end of the. It was 35 to 39, and I'm 38, so I think I'm like those young bucks are coming into my age group, right?
That had been tough though, finishing into that win.
Oh, as soon as you got on the bike trail and you turned around the cone, it like instantly just hit you, and it was awful. And I forgot my gloves, so I was like trying to run with my hands in my pockets. And if anybody's tried that, it's you're not real good, you're not real quick. But
I would always wear socks on my hands.
Oh, okay.
That way it was not like a glove. Your hands are like together and they stay a little bit warmer. So
sure.
People always give me a hard time for having socks on my hands, but it worked.
So one year, a long time ago, I had a prize in my bag when I was doing the Clinton Half Marathon, and it had these A6 arm sleeves, and they just go like up to your bicep area and down to your wrist. And I always thought they were silly. I'm like, what do I ever need these for? I wear long sleeves. And I actually tried them one time, and they are amazing. Like, they keep your arms warm, and you can, like, almost see through them. And I can't believe they work, but they do. So I had those on, but it still wasn't enough.
Okay, well, we got a lot of things to talk about, so let's get started.
All right. So I think the biggest thing, not the biggest thing, but one thing that we had talked about in the past, the accessory building, we made some changes to what's allowed throughout the city of Clinton. And that got passed by council the other day. So the new, I signed that last night. So the new stuff will be in place now for folks that are looking to do accessory buildings. It mainly changed for people that have 1 acre or more. It allowed them a little more leeway on what size of building they can have, where it's placed and things like that, and how far it has to be from neighboring properties. That basically all stayed the same. We changed that a little bit. The height stayed relatively similar. So just kind of we have a lot of folks that have the bigger lots, especially west of Mill Creek and along the Mill Creek area. So this, I think, is pretty good. I mean, people are generating a lot more stuff these days, and they want these types of buildings. So hopefully, people will take advantage of it, and if they can, and that'll be good. So.
Well, that is good to hear. So, I mean, there was actually people were coming to the city or to you and say, hey, we would like to see this done.
Yeah. I know I had, it doesn't sound like a lot, but I had 3 or 4 people. And then I know Councilmember Detterman had a couple people that he was talking to. So, we kind of looked back at the ordinance, and 5 or 10 people is not a lot of people, right? But it was enough for us to look at the ordinance and say, hey, I think we can make some changes here, and hopefully it'll be beneficial across the board to everyone. So
okay, what's up next on your list there?
Yeah, we set the public hearing the other night for the alley vacation in the brewery area. So I just wanted to make sure I pointed that out, that the public hearing will be the next council meeting, which is 2 weeks. I can't remember what day it is, but it's a Tuesday.
We got a calendar right there.
Oh, it's right there. That'll be the 25th. So the 25th will be the public hearing for that. So if you have questions, concerns, you want information, you have input, whether it's one side or the other, doesn't really matter. I just encourage everybody to show up. It'll probably be a packed house in there. Hopefully the AC was not working well on Tuesday night, so we were all sweating. So hopefully that'll be fixed by then. But yeah, so that's just something that I think that's important to a lot of people in that area.
Now, and it is an important thing. Now, it'll be all the way from 3rd Street to 2nd Street, or just partial?
Nope, it's just a partial right behind where the brewery is.
Okay.
They need some contiguous acres in order to operate as a brewer / distributor with their warehouse that they built there. So we got some new information the other night, but I think more information will come out before the public hearing and at the public hearing. So I don't want to get ahead of my skis on that. But if anybody's interested, you can watch it on YouTube. You can get on Microsoft Teams, and you can throw your questions on there if you want it, or you can speak from there, or you can show up to the meeting. It's 5 o'clock at City Hall.
So you would still be able to enter from 2nd Street, and then I would imagine, isn't there also an access on the avenue?
Correct, 3rd Avenue South.
I know it might need some work, but
right, and I think we can look at doing that. The city doesn't maintain alleys as a practice, but I think for this circumstance, we might be able to look at that. They're both 20 feet wide, so taking 8 feet out of there still makes it a 12-foot wide alley, which is still adequate for vehicles to get to and fro. So, but we know we have a lot of residences there. We have a lot of businesses there. Right. So we want to make sure that we're hearing everybody, and the council has all the information so they can make a decision on whether or not they want to vacate that alley portion or not.
Our general manager, Morgan Marty, was at the Revivalist Brewery yesterday, and he said it's just looking remarkable. He had an opportunity to visit with the owner, Richard Schwab. We're hoping to get him in studio sometime. Cool. I know you've been in. Yeah. So, I mean, it's going to be something else.
Yeah, it's amazing in there. It's very, very beautiful what they've done.
I put a lot of work, a lot of money into it.
Yes, a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of vision, a lot of everything. I mean, I think it's going to be something that people from all over want to come see.
And visiting with Mayor Scott Maddasion, so what's next?
We had our audit report on the council meeting the other night. So the state of Iowa is who we hire to do our audit report. Just makes a lot of sense to use them. I think they've been doing it for probably almost 10 years, the state. So we had another successful audit of our financials from the last fiscal year. No major comments or anything like that. We do have some comments on there that happen every year, but they're mainly because we work with a small staff, and they want us to have more staff, but obviously that costs a lot more money, right? So some of those comments are on there, but nothing crazy is on the audit report. So always good to have a nice audit report. It's always good to have positive feedback in that arena, and then it's also good to let the citizens know that the money is all being handled in a proper manner and everything's looking good.
Is this something that has to be done every year, Scott?
Yes, it does. Yep. Okay. So we work with the state for our actual audit. We have a couple other companies that we work with as far as, financial advisors. We have a company called PFM that we work for that. And then we also have another one that we work with as far as putting together our financial report and our tables and our charts and all that kind of stuff. So there's a couple different things that we use in that, but the state auditors are the main ones that are going to go through all the financials.
So is it one individual or a team that comes in and takes a look at the books, or what?
Yeah, it's a team. There's usually, I think, 4 or 5, if I remember right, because I remember they come in person and then they do some remotely, and when they're in the conference room down there, there's usually around 4 or 5 of them in there, and then there'll be one person that's like the lead person on there, and then the other people, maybe their focus is on the financials for the solid waste, and then this person is general fund, so they split their duties up.
So while they're doing this, is there somebody from the city who's also in there?
Yeah, not actually in there specifically, but Anita, our finance director, she's the one that is providing all of the information to them. And if she needed something from a department head, it would work straight through Anita instead of, you don't want Parks and Rec giving the wrong information or not, not understanding or whatever it is. So she would be the one that would handle all of that stuff. And Matt is involved. And then every year myself and at least one council member will be involved in the pre-meeting and the post-meeting, and then the finance committee is involved throughout there as well.
Okay, again, FYI with Scott Maddasion, we're going to take a break for the weather. We'll have certainly more to talk about. Our update brought to you by Dan Dolan.
More of the same for us today with a mostly sunny sky, windy conditions, highs returning to the mid-80s. For tonight, a few more clouds as we drop into the upper 50s. For Friday, partly cloudy skies, still warm, with highs in the mid-80s. With your Storm Track 8 forecast, I'm meteorologist Andrew Stutzky.
Sunshine, we're at 66 degrees now. Our update brought to you by Dan Dolan.
If the monthly rental cost of retirement facility living has you scared, you're not alone. Hi, I'm Dan Dolan of the Villas at Mill Creek, and I've got the answer. If you are over age 62, you can utilize reverse mortgage for purchase to buy one of my new age-in-place townhomes with a one-time down payment and no future mortgage payments. That's it. You just pay your taxes, insurance, and the monthly $65 fee. We mow the lawn and shovel the snow. Call me at 381-4088 for all the details, or visit our model home at Mill Creek Crossing, or call your favorite local realtor.
Back with Mayor Scott Maddasion now on FYI. You always talk about there's 2 seasons in Iowa, winter and construction. How are things looking on the construction front?
Good. I mean, if you drive around, I think there's a lot of projects that are going on. I know there's a couple like College Avenue area that's going to get redone, which will be really nice. That's well needed. And then that's kind of a offshoot of Manufacturing Drive and Bluff. So we're trying to get some stuff fixed up around there as that project comes in next year. If you've gone to the intersection that would take you to the North Bridge, 19th and 2nd Street there, obviously they're working there. So there's some things going on, but yeah, I mean, you're going to see a lot of concrete work and asphalt and things like that as we're going through the season. I obviously we're on the radio, so I can't show it, but we have a 10-year plan that our engineers put together as far as what roads are going to get worked on throughout the year, and that's part of our pavement management plan. The council has allocated just about $3 million every year to the pavement management program, so we just try to keep knocking those off the list, and we're trying to, or the engineer's goal is to make sure that he touches every single road throughout the city of Clinton. We want to make sure that nothing is neglected. Some things going to take a little longer than others, but the major thoroughfares sometimes they take precedence, obviously, because the traffic's higher. But we're continuing along with that.
The work that is being done, is that like contracted out? Are there city employees? How does that all work?
So when you're doing road projects and stuff like that, they're all bid out. So it'll be other contractors. Clinton Engineering does a lot, Manats does a lot, and there's a few other companies too. But you're going to see a lot of those types of companies. BWC doing those different projects. We have done a really nice job. Brian Lemke, our Public Works Director, has done a nice job of not only hiring people that have skills, specialized skills into our Public Works Department, but getting them to do a lot of work. So if there's like a small concrete job that needs done, instead of bidding it out, we have a guy that's really good at concrete on our staff. So he grabs a couple people and they go do it. So we have actually saved the city a ton of money over the last, I think it's been 3 years, 2 to 3 years that Brian's been involved there. So we are looking at things like that so that we can save some money and we're not always having to bid everything out.
Very interesting. I have noticed also on 6th Avenue South there in the 100 block, looks like they're doing some work there near the police. Is it involved with the police or no?
No, that would be a sewer separation project.
Oh, is that what? Okay,
yeah, right by the Y there.
Right.
Yeah, they're working on sewer stuff down there, and I think actually there's some road work going to be done from 6th to the bridge there. So that area right there needs a little bit of work too.
What about any other projects in the downtown area? I know we're looking for that pharmacy to start opening up soon, or not soon, but get started sometime.
Bad news is they backed out.
Oh,
so
really?
that pharmacy won't happen there at the moment.
Oh.
We are still going to get the building torn down. I actually have engaged another developer and asked them about that site, and they're actually interested. So they're running construction numbers and things right now of what it would cost to put something up there. So hopefully we may have some information for you in the near future on maybe a project happening. Yeah, I think with just everything going on, just felt like the investment it's not the right time for that investment, which we were pretty upset about. But obviously, things like that happen. So right away we try to next man up kind of thing, right? So we try to figure out who we can get. That's a prime corner.
Yeah.
So hopefully, like I said, I'll have good news for you maybe in the near future.
Okay, glad to hear that. That it has to be discouraging sometimes. I mean, you always want things to be done right away, but it takes time.
Yeah, it does. It takes time for most everything, because there's a lot of projects that come in, if they're state or federally funded, or they're looking for credits or things like that. I mean, those take times to apply for and work through, and a lot of those developers, that's how they do a lot of that type of stuff. Not every developer has $100 million of cash sitting there that they can just put a building up with, right, or whatever they're doing. So it takes patience, but we have a good team down at City Hall, and I think we've done pretty good. We're going to have next Friday, there'll be a huge press release and announcement for a business at the rail park. So the state of Iowa is going to announce an incentive package. We're at like 99.8% that we're good to go on this. So I'm going to leave that 0.2% out there just in case. But
Okay.
I think we'll be pretty good. So hopefully that announcement will happen next Friday, and then next time we're on the show, we'll be able to discuss the specifics of that.
Okay, of course, you always come in on the second Thursday. Now, on May 4th, we're going to have Andy Sokolovich in from Grow Clinton. Have not had Andy on the program for some time. Looking forward to what he has to say. I know Matt Parbs has just come on board at Grow Clinton, so it looks like they're doing things right.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and the project is actually buying ground from Grow Clinton, their portion. So Andy will steal my thunder on May 4th. So
that's all right. He
That's
doesn't mind
okay.
doing that. Of course, we've been having Josh Agers come in, and you've been at the other radio station to talk about tailgate and tall boys, and it's now under 2 months away. So how are things looking?
yeah, we're like 56 days now, I think. We're looking really good. We approved the liquor license on Tuesday night for USA Concerts, the team we partnered with. So now that's set, which that's a huge piece, obviously, to get that all done. So they worked through the state and got that. We're working on volunteer stuff right now, and we have a discussion today at 11 o'clock that we're gonna talk about a few things, and then next Tuesday we have a discussion that's going to be focused only on parking. So that we can understand how the parking is going to work, and then us in the city can figure out bus routes and all that kind of stuff. We had a nice coffee talk with Grow Clinton on the 31st, which was nice. We answered a lot of questions for business owners in the downtown and Lyons area, which was cool. We broadcast that on the radio. I don't think it was recorded, though, so you can't go back. But always open for any questions if people have them.
I'm glad you brought that up because I wanted to ask about that. What were some of the points and questions that were brought up by the business owners?
Right, so we had a couple business owners that were concerned about the parking down on the downtown because they have a business there, obviously. So we're going to do our best to ensure that festival parking doesn't happen downtown. It's only a two-hour parking, and some lots are 3-hour parking. So we're going to make sure that we're enforcing those ordinances. We're going to get some signage up because whether you're going to the festival or not, if you want to stop at one of the boutiques downtown or whatever it is down there, right? We want to make sure that you have adequate parking down there to do that. So that was one question. There was a lot of questions about how the bus routing is going to go for people that are parking on Lincoln Way. So we talked about that. We talked about the entire festival, where you're going to be able to get into the festival, the points that are going to be shut off. Like the entire Riverview Drive is going to be shut off. Like you won't be able to get up there for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So we talked about that. We had some questions on, I have a parking lot downtown for my business. Can I sell parking spots? You absolutely can. Go right ahead, right? If you can make some money off your parking lot, if you got 5 or 10 spots, please do. We're perfectly okay with all of that. So, and there was a couple other ideas of, can we do like a sidewalk sale? Can we do this? Can we do that? And it's like, yeah, let's work through it. Let's figure out how we can work together, because I want our businesses to have a positive impact from this event. That's one of my key goals out there is we not only bring people to Clinton and have a great concert series, but if we can get a lot of positive impact to our local businesses throughout those 3 days or 4 days or 5 or however long people are here, right? Wednesday through Sunday, basically. I think that's good for us.
I would imagine where there's some questions about, well, gee, how much should I buy? How much more should I stock up than what I normally do? And should I start making these orders now?
There was some questions about that, and that's a hard one for me to answer because I can tell you how many tickets are sold, right? I can tell you when people get there and they go through the box office, how many people are there, but I don't know what it takes to, build a hot dog basket or you know what I mean? All this stuff. So I think the business owners really have to say, hey, we're going to have, 10,000 people here. We need to adjust accordingly. And, Deanna from Deanna's Java made a good point. Like she said, she started ordering stuff in January, like a little bit at a time, so that she had extra stock for things like that. Cause she's I think she's I know she's one of the vendors down at the festival, but she's also has multiple locations in town. Right. So, I think you just need to, look at your numbers and then prepare accordingly. Hey, we normally do this volume. If we double our volume, then what do we need to complement that.
Yeah. Again, I would imagine there's a website people can go to find out even more information on some of this.
Yeah, so the final map and all that stuff would be 30 to 45 days out. That's one of our topics today at 11 when we discuss with USA Concerts. When's that going to come out? That's one thing that a lot of people are focused on. There's
Right.
going to be a festival app, and I don't know the date for that launch, but that'll launch soon, and that'll have information on there. And we're going to try to see if we can get some links on there to like Visit Clinton and things like that, so people can find that. Because there's going to be a lot of downtime where, if you're staying in a hotel or you're camping or something like that, the music doesn't start till 3 o'clock. So what are you going to do from when you wake up until 3 o'clock, right? Hopefully you're going to go patronize or wander around downtown or whatever you're going to do. But I think there's going to be a lot for folks to do. So
We got about 3-4 minutes left in
Sure.
the program. So what are you going to be looking at before we have you in next time?
I did want to mention one thing real quick. We approved wayfinding.
Oh,
We're going to get
okay,
some
that's
new.
right.
We're going to get some new wayfinding signs out there. Right now, our system is antiquated and it's not real good. So we're working with a company to update that. Nice signs, very direct, point you to important places, and then at those important places have signs that will point you to other important places in town, right? So I think that's going to be really cool. Before next time, I don't know exactly what will be on the next couple council agendas, but I think obviously the results from the Alley Vacation public hearing will be something that we can chat about, and then we'll work up some other stuff. We talked a little bit about the police annual report. I think we'll bring that back next time because that'll take a little time to talk about, and we'll talk about the things that the police department are doing.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that on your list there because you do have some interesting talks
Yeah.
on that. So, and we don't have the time right now.
Right.
But, hey, as always, we appreciate you coming in, and we'll see you in May.
All right, see ya.
And now, the Dan Patrick Show.
Dan Patrick.
By the way, with all of this talk about the Joker and Embiid, the best player in basketball is Giannis. Giannis is the best player in the game. It doesn't mean he wins the MVP, but he already got his. And now it feels like it's Embiid's turn, and it feels like that. We've gotten to the point, Giannis has graduated to the point, he's like Patrick